Because 6 months on the radio was all the FCC and his parole officer would allow, this is the Walt Bonetti Podcast. God help us all.
Welcome to episode 36 of the Walt Bonetti Podcast for February 28th. The Walt Bonetti Podcast is brought to you by the Original Italian Pie of Kenner, 3600 Williams Boulevard, just a little bit north of West Esplanade. You can dine in or call them, 469-4999, and they'll have your order ready for pickup, or they will deliver to your home or your office. And you can also order online at orderitalianpie.com. On today's podcast, the Jefferson Parish School Superintendent wants to close some schools. The Huey P. Long Bridge gets dinged. A restaurant brawl over crab legs. And why drinking beer may lead to breast cancer. But first, these quick hits. The Huey P. Long Bridge was closed for almost 3 hours Wednesday after an oil tanker's antenna struck the bridge. The vessel was en route to St. Rose. The high water level in the river is blamed for the miscalculation by the ship's crew. The bridge was closed as a precaution and reopened after an inspection. Former Jefferson Parish Justice of the Peace Patrick DeJean was convicted Wednesday of illegally garnishing wages and using his office to secure loans for himself. DeJean was convicted of 13 counts of mail fraud and 3 counts of making false statements to a bank. He faces up to 20 years in prison for each count of mail fraud and 30 years in prison on each count of false statement to a bank. The semifinalists for the James Beard Culinary Awards were announced Wednesday, and several New Orleans area restaurants are on the list. In the Best New Restaurant category, Bywater American Bistro and the Elysian Bar were named. Donald Link was named as semifinalist for Outstanding Chef. Ricky Fields at Willa Jean Cafe was named as semifinalist in the Outstanding Pastry Chef category. Joanne Clevenger of Upperline was named in the Outstanding Restaurateur category, and Brightson's was named in the Best Service category. Walmart announced they will phase out the position of greeter at over 1,000 stores. They will be replaced by a new customer host who must be able to handle more physically challenging duties like climbing ladders and standing for long periods. Dang it. Another career opportunity down the drain. Unfortunately, this does impact many disabled workers nationwide who will be unable to perform the new strenuous activities Walmart will be demanding. We told you previously about the RTA, the Regional Transit Authority, and their pilot programs they're proposing. Yesterday, they presented those programs to the New Orleans City Council's Transportation Committee. The proposals include a plan to speed up streetcar service on Canal Street and provide overnight on-demand service to Algiers and New Orleans East from the CBD and the French Quarter, designed to assist hospitality workers. Several months back, we told you about the weed killer, glyphosate, in popular cereal brands including Cheerios and Lucky Charms, and breakfast foods including Quaker Oat Squares. Glyphosate is the main ingredient in Roundup weed killer. Now, the U.S. Public Interest Research Group has found glyphosate in some of the most popular beer and wine brands, including Budweiser, Coors Light, Tsingtao, Miller Lite, Corona, Heineken, and Sutter Home Wine. Among beer, Coors Light had the highest measurement of glyphosate at 31.1 parts per billion, while Sutter Home Merlot registered 51.1 parts per billion. While below the EPA's risk tolerance for beverages, at least one scientific study found that as little as 1 part per trillion of glyphosate can stimulate the growth of breast cancer cells. And now this. If you want a great meal, you need to think about my friends at the Original Italian Pie of Kenner. They're located at 3600 Williams Boulevard, just a little bit north of West Esplanade. You can dine in, or you can call them, 469-4999, and they'll have your order ready for pickup, or they will deliver. Or you can order online at orderitalianpie.com. Whether you want a great sandwich, a salad, a calzone, a wrap, pasta, or pizza, You can find it all at the Original Italian Pie of Kenner. And don't forget, save room for dessert. The cannolis are incredible. You get 2 big cannolis. You can't eat both of them. Well, you could, but you shouldn't. I can't. I can only eat a half of one. So consider yourself lucky if you can eat a whole one, let alone eat 2. Great service, an extensive menu, fresh food, huge portions, and cannolis. What more could you ask for? You got to go there. The Original Italian Pie of Kenner. Like I said, you can dine in at 3600 Williams Boulevard or call them 469-4999 and they'll have your order ready for pickup or they will deliver. Or you can order online at orderitalianpie.com. That's the Original Italian Pie of Kenner.
You gonna put your clothes on?
Yes, I swear!
You gonna keep them on?
Yes, I promise I'll never bother you again with my body. Please, just make this stop!
Walt Bonetti.
Welcome back. Thanks again for spending part of your day with the podcast. A proposal by Jefferson Parish Public School System Superintendent Dr. Cade Brumley calls for closing 3 schools and expanding 9 others. The plan calls for closing Wagaman's Live Oak Elementary, Catherine Strell Elementary in Avondale, which would be repurposed as an alternative school, and Miller Waller School in Marrero. 6 elementary schools and 3 middle schools would be expanded to teach kindergarten through 8th grade. The plan is designed to help improve student performance, limit school moves, and increase efficiency. Students in 6th, 7th, and 8th grades in K through 8 schools outperform students in middle schools and transition easier to high school. The plan is also projected to save the school system $1.1 million annually. If approved by the school board, the plan would take effect this summer. This is a critical test for Dr. Brumley, whose contract was just extended by the school board for another 2 years. And it's an important step in possibly turning around Jefferson Parish Public Schools. While some may consider the proposal radical, a school board superintendent calling on closing schools, it is the kind of out-of-the-box thinking that Jefferson Parish Public Schools need to improve their dismal rankings. And if it works as Dr. Brumley suggests, it could jumpstart the progress of failing schools like Roosevelt Middle School in Kenner, which has been an F-rated school for several years. If it can benefit students, and it saves the school system money, I think it's a plan that we can all get behind. If the school board can get past their parochial view. Since they extended Dr. Brumley's contract, that shouldn't be a problem. But you never know with the school board and the factions that it contains.
Now, the Walt Bonetti Podcast Dumbass of the Day.
A Tennessee man is in jail after he was filmed dipping his testicles into a container of salsa destined for a delivery customer. Howard Matthew Webb was charged with adulteration of food. The female delivery driver, who was not identified, was fired. She filmed Webb and posted it on social media saying, quote, "This is what you get when you give an 89-cent tip for a 30-minute drive." Look, while I agree that delivery drivers should be tipped properly, no one deserves to have their food messed with like that. And I know it happens. I know it happens all the time. You see it. People talk about it. There are Uber Eats drivers out there that do things like this. They eat your food. They take some of your French fries. They do it, and they're shameless about it. As much as I'd love to get my Taco Bell delivered to my house, I don't know that I want to go that far, though. I know there are food service workers out there that do the same thing, though. You've seen that. You've seen people spit in hamburgers and do all sorts of nasty things. It makes me not want to eat. Speaking of food, a man and a woman were arrested in Huntsville, Alabama, after a fight developed in a restaurant buffet line over crab legs. A Huntsville police officer was actually eating lunch when the fight broke out. The police officer said Chiquita Jenkins and John Chapman were waiting in the buffet line for over 10 minutes, waiting on the crab legs. Once the food arrived, the two started hitting each other with serving tongs, and plates were shattered. Chapman suffered a cut on his head. Well, that puts a wrap on another podcast. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, story ideas, please email waltbradio@gmail.com. That's waltbradio@gmail.com. Don't forget to support our sponsor, the Original Italian Pie of Kenner, 3600 Williams Boulevard, just a little bit north of West Esplanade. You can call them, 469-4999, and they'll have your order ready for pickup, or they will deliver. And you can also order online at orderitalianpie.com. Eat some great food from the Original Italian Pie of Kenner. As we tell you every day, please be a blessing. Change someone's life today, or change your own. You can do it. You really can. Thanks for listening.
Walt Bonetti.